Thrive Heavy Lies the Crown is a medieval fantasy city builder with RTS elements. You start with a small group of people, place your first buildings, pretty much the basics like houses, wells, lumber camps, and food storage. This game has a pretty big map with various AI kingdoms that you can either befriend or destroy as your enemy. And there is also plenty of land for you to expand to, which is important for resource acquisition. Your starting location has a pretty sizable landmass, and you can establish a pretty decently sized kingdom. But you can't really go all crazy and build a massive, gigantic kingdom. There's only so much space to make use of. This does of course have a practical benefit as well, because it is much easier to defend a compact city protected by walls than a massive city that is surrounded by kilometers of walls. The resource production gets fairly complex, and as you progress you unlock more advanced production chains. As for the population system, you have different classes, farmers at first, then laborers, military and so forth. Each person needs housing and they'll get pissed if they don't have basic necessities. The happiness system is similar to other games. Your people need food, water, clothes, and later on stuff like cider from the fermenter and various luxuries. This game features a mystical force that causes these surges that can either help or screw you over. Sometimes it blesses your crops, other times it sets half your city on fire or sends some nasty creatures to destroy your stuff. You eventually learn to deal with it, but it keeps you on your toes. The military aspect opens up once you hit certain population thresholds. To properly defend your kingdom you have to build walls, gates, and various military structures. Other settlements will attack you if you piss them off. If a kingdom much bigger than you demands some tribute and you tell them to piss off, then you better be ready for a fight. In terms of building, the game does have a grid-based building system, which is, in my opinion, not as satisfying and authentic as Manalord's gridless fluid building system, but I think it does allow for easier planning and possibly more strategic layouts. Trading, exploration, and expansion are big aspects too. You can build caravans and send them to other settlements or unexplored land. You can then either set up trade routes, establish diplomatic relations, or form alliances. Or you can be a prick and raid their trade routes. This is apparently a possibility as well. When playing this game, you can choose between being a benevolent or a tyrannical ruler. You are frequently tasked with making choices. The system seems to be designed to make both paths viable, but distinctly different with their own advantages and challenges, rather than a simple good versus bad approach. The game does have a research system as well, that lets you spend gold to unlock buffs and upgrades. There are multiple tiers here as well. This game is early access, that means it currently features 2 maps, around 45 buildings and structures, as well as open-ended gameplay. They plan to add an additional 40 buildings and 20 production materials, as well as more maps and additional features for your citizens. The game does feature co-op right at the start of early access. And that sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.